on the failed snap. Jones to the sideline, on time for another first down. Jaleel Billingsley, another big play. This one goes for 28.
And take a look at the accuracy here of Mac Jones. Completing almost 80% of his passes on the year, 78.5. And watch the accuracy. Right in the window, right in stride. That's not an easy throw for a quarterback to make. It's not a traditional area. You're putting this on a line, but it's not over the top. It's right on the numbers. It's a great job allowing his receiver to catch and run.
Jones has started this game 3 for 4 for 74 yards. Play action again. Double move over the middle. And it's in! And now drop! Kentucky had 2 guys with a shot at it. First was Eccles, and it looked like his teammate, Bembry, collided with him to knock it out of his hands.
And what did I just say?
Roughing the passer, contact to the head. Defense number 92.
That's another big penalty.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Wouldn't have mattered. Phil Hoskins with the flag.
Correction, half the distance.
Now you're going to see 92 come off right there. Hands to the face. They're going to call that every time. But again, I said Mac Jones has got to stay patient. They dialed up 3 shot plays and back-to-back plays. An offensive coordinator can do that when your quarterback is not just throwing it to throw it. When he's checking it down, that time Mac Jones got a little greedy. And against this defense, second the SEC in interceptions and takeaways, you can't afford to get greedy and try to fit that ball into a window that's not there.
Mac Jones
bailed out because of the penalty.
Top 10 in the country in most offensive passing stats. He's got Bolden on the flat. He's going to turn, look for the wheel. That's covered up. And tries to go back to Bolden, who takes it down to the 11-yard line on a pickup of 3.
Alabama calls these protections hammer and nail. They're going to pull a guard out. They show you a gap scheme run. Gives Mac Jones a little bit more space to operate outside of the pocket. Puts a guard in a tough spot, though. A lot of times you get out there in space against a defender that's a little bit more loose than you are, and he has room to operate. Can go inside, can go outside. It's a tough ask for an offensive lineman.
Fantastic offensive line. Paving the way. Jones on 2nd and 6. Great coverage by Kentucky. He's got nowhere to go. Try to thread the needle. And he sneaks it in. Devontae Smith. A record-setting touchdown grab from 10 yards out.
Wow. There it is. There's the record. And they really wanted to go to 6 early. He had a double move on the field side. And this is one of the most underrated aspects of his game, his ability to find the soft spot, right? You see the big plays downfield. You see the catch after the run. What you don't usually see is him navigating to find space, and that's what he did right there, mirroring his quarterback and finding space.
Snap infraction. Offense number 45. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Thomas Fletcher, the long snapper. They'll do it again. Career touchdown reception number 32 for Devontae Smith. New Alabama record. A new SEC record. Riker bangs through the extra point. Alabama takes advantage of the bad snap on a field goal, short field, and Devontae Smith finds his way open. He waves goodbye to Amari Cooper and Chris Doran. 32 career touchdowns through the air for Devontae Smith.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like...
It's looking kind of chilly out today. What am I going to wear? I think I'll go with a cardigan.
Yep, even easier than that. And with a top-rated app that lets you deposit checks and transfer money anytime, anywhere, is it really even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
My name is Henry, working within Amazon Transportation Services. I immediately saw the challenge of climate change. We want to be sustainable, But when you have a truck covering over 300 miles, or you have flights going hundreds of miles, it's a bit more challenging. We are letting the data guide us to the best solution. It's inspiring to try to solve a problem that nobody else has solved. That's super exciting.
Along with your donations, McDonald's has helped Ronald McDonald House Charities keep families together for more than 40 years.
What are you doing, man? There you go.
The Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Every day we have the choice to keep our old habits or start new ones. Choose great taste without the waste. Brita, drink like you care.
It's another record for Devontae Smith. This one not just an Alabama record, but also an SEC record. 32 receiving touchdowns. Here's how it played out.
Yeah, and I was wrong. It's actually a double move to Mechie, and Devontae's on a runoff route backside, but look at him work. He finds Mac Jones, puts his hand up, goes, come on, one-on-one, and what a throw. I mean, right on the money, moving to his left. Look at the back pedal, Mac Jones buying time. That is not an easy throw with a couple of guys in your face, exactly where he needed to put it.
All smiles for Mac Jones, former child model. Will Riker kicks it off. Zach Johnson to receive. Another return opportunity for Kentucky. Johnson breaks through to the 30, gets dragged down at the 35.
Almost a face mask there, I thought I saw. Either way, Kentucky's going to have a good field position.
Yeah, tough to see from the angle, but Joe brought him down by just a hand. And now Terry Wilson at quarterback. Terry Wilson nearly lost a job at quarterback at Kentucky. Here's a look at that replay and the kick return. Yeah, that is a face mask.
Mm-hmm. Should be 15 more yards for Kentucky.
So on the Thursday before the Vandy game, Mark Stoops walked into the quarterback room and said to Terry Wilson, you will start the game, but I will play all three quarterbacks, including the talented freshman Bo Allen, who's a big passer out of Lexington. Smith bottled up in the backfield and maybe a yard as Kavosiey Smoke gets taken down. Talking to Mark Stoops at practice this week, he said, listen, I probably would have gotten Bo Allen in earlier, but Terry was fantastic. He got off to such a great start. He ended the Vandy game 13 of 15. One of the best performances in school history. So Bo Allen has the headset and the yellow penny on now. Gatewood also waits with helmet on. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bo Allen in this game.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gatewood either, maybe in a running situation. So, but right now, Kentucky moving the football, and Terry Wilson's doing everything right. Just got to keep it up on this drive.
On 2nd and 9, couple that time for Kavosiey Smoke, and that will leave 3rd and 7. Wilson is a great runner, as you discussed earlier in this game, but Mark Stoops has on his hand a guy who's second in Kentucky history, only to Tim Couch, in completion percentage. And the all-time leading rusher at quarterback for had a running quarterback / wide receiver, Lynn Bowden, play the position last year. Wilson off his back foot, fits this one in, and room for Isaiah Epps. Back to action, and Epps takes it for a first down.
It's good to have Isaiah Epps back if you're Kentucky. He's really the fastest guy they got there. And we talked about them needing a number 2 wide receiver to emerge. They'd love it to be 81 because of how dynamic he is down the field. And that time Alabama brought a little pressure. Left man coverage on the backside, and Wilson was able to hold on to it long enough to find Epps.
A foot injury cost Epps all of last season. out to Kavashe Smoke. And he's taken down in the open field for no gain. Big play by Malachi Moore. Cole, Malachi Moore has come almost out of nowhere to be a defensive star for Alabama.
Just a sensational story playing his high school ball at Hewitt-Trustville for Josh Floyd, who told me that maybe changing positions was something that helped him a lot. He went from receiver to corner to safety. When Nick Saban was recruiting him, he talked about his instincts was really what they fell in love with during the recruiting process. He graduated early to enroll in January, and due to the numbers, he wasn't able to actually get into school then. Had to wait until the summer. Well, we know this wasn't a normal summer. So to be able to go through a COVID summer and still come in and play and contribute heavily as a true freshman in the Alabama secondary, beyond impressive.
Whistles before the snap. And Jordan, as we talked to Pete Golding
Kentucky.
about it.
Second time out of the half.
It was all about who Malachi Moore is as a learner that allowed him to pick up everything Alabama wanted to do defensively for a guy who'd never taken a college snap.
Yeah, for a quick lesson, there's 3 types of learning: kinesthetic, auditory, and visual, right? Kinesthetic, you got to be there. You got to have it happen to you. You got to walk through it. That's how most football players are. That's how I was. And in the world of COVID this offseason, it was all visual and auditory, right? Through Zoom calls. That's really tough for a true freshman to not ever get to walk through it until fall camp. But he is a great learner visually and auditory-wise. That's why he's on the field. He was way ahead of the game by the time they actually set foot on campus and were allowed to practice. He was already ahead of the game, acting like a veteran, and that's why he's on the field. That's why he was able to make such a big impact early, and he's going to have a great career based on just the small sample size we've seen so far this year.
Couple of picks this season.
I was going to say, Tom, I love how Pete Golding said, in those Zoom meetings, a lot of guys are there, but they're not there.
Yes.
Malachi Moore was there every day.
I feel like that applied to you during our production call last night, Cole, via Zoom. Smoke and Rose in the backfield. Play action. Wilson Chase tried to find Smoke and was incomplete.
It's funny, Tom. I went back and Pete Golding told us, Jordan mentioned those 3 styles of learning: auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. And I kind of wanted to do some research on them, and I thought to myself, man, I don't really think either one of these works for me. I need these plus some. Like, what you say? Pete, what are the bonus ways of learning? Because I need those too.
Pete Golding played his college ball at Delta State. Second season as Alabama's defensive coordinator. 3rd and 10.
Might be 2-play territory. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a quarterback draw here out of this empty set.
11 sacks on the season for Bama. They bring 4. Pocket holds, and out of the backfield they find the tight end. Here's Upshaw, who rumbles his way inside the 30, and a pickup of 14 before Surtain took him down.
Look, when you go empty, you vacate the middle of the field, and that's why I said maybe a quarterback draw could attack that. Instead, they leak their tight end on a delay route, right? He blocks it first, 1, 2, then delay releases to the middle of the field that's been vacated by that pre-snap motion. Great play design on 3rd down, a huge 3rd down for Kentucky. Great job by Eddie Grand, their offensive coordinator.
Second catch of the season, of the game for Upshaw. Second string behind Rigg, who's unavailable today and didn't make the trip. 2 backs on the field continuously for Kentucky. Wilson pulls it back, lobs it down the sideline, incomplete. Trying to find Kavashe Smoke out of the backfield.
Tom, keep in mind when you're talking about Kentucky tight ends, this is a tight end heavy offense. You'll get a lot of 12, even some 13 personnel normally from Eddie Grand. 2 scholarship tight ends made this trip for the Kentucky Wildcats, much fewer than they're normally used to playing with.
Yeah, that includes Nick Ojenovich. We've seen action early in this one. Kentucky's gone pass heavy for their offense. 5 consecutive pass plays. Quarterback draw again, and Terry Wilson finds 3. Jordan, you mentioned it earlier when they tried it near the goal line. Does it defeat the purpose of QB run when you have a running back next to him?
No, not always. No, the couple times they went empty, it vacated the middle of the field. That's why I thought maybe they would go back to that. It's pick your poison, right? If you leave somebody in there, you got an extra hat just in case Alabama doesn't adjust out. So it's not good or bad either way. It just depends on how Alabama plays it, and they've adjusted really well to that set.
Both 3rd down conversions for Kentucky today have come on this drive. This will be the 9th play of the drive. Emma brings 4. Wilson goes down the sideline. Incomplete. Josh Ali, the intended receiver, covered by Malachi Moore, who we've discussed is having a sensational rookie campaign with the Tide.
Interesting that they took a shot here. You know, 3rd and 8.
Well, they bring up the field goal unit. This was what happened last time. 36 yards the wrong way.
Man, watch how fast that snap is. I mean, long snappers to take you inside the operation. You're not slinging it back there as fast as possible. It's got to have some juice to it, but it's got to be catchable.
Cade DeGraw, the snapper, replaced Blake Best this season, who was a 4-year starter. That was a wobbler, and they got the snap down, and it stays wide right from 42 yards. A knuckleball to Goodfellow. And special teams, an early disaster for Kentucky.
This is a nightmare, too, for a holder. Watch this. You'd love a spiral so you can catch it. These aren't receivers out there. That's a duck back to him. Doesn't get a chance to catch it clean and get it down. And another big missed opportunity for Kentucky.
You can go your own way. Go your own way.
You want anything?
No, I'm good, babe.
Can I get a quarter pounder with cheese? Make that too. Thank you. Hey, but I thought you said you...
But you got 2.
Get it at McDonald's when you buy one of your faves and get another for just $1.
Oh, you're gonna botch this, Baker. You're gonna blow it, Baker.
He can only perform when he's under pressure. Yep.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready to cut off the sleeves, circle the bandwagons, and be hungrier than ever? Because everything is ready to matter, no matter what. Are you ready?
What are you doing, man? There you go.
The Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
(14-3) Alabama with the lead. Mac Jones has started his game 7 of 8 through the air for 118 yards and a touchdown. And he will hand it off to Najee Harris, who picks up just 1. Cole, we talked about the Kentucky offensive line. What makes this Alabama offensive line so special?
I think it's physicality. I think it's attitude. I think it's demeanor. Number one, they're huge. They're massive. I mean, I hadn't been able to see Landon Dickerson up in close personal for a while, but I'm on the field, and he's bigger than Alex Leatherwood. Like in stature, he's just a bigger dude. Cornbread Brown's a big dude at left guard. Evan Neal is just a mammoth of a human being. They have the ability to push you around, and I think that physicality separates them from a lot of other groups.
Dickerson, the center, 6'8", 325. Jones completes another one. This to Devontae Smith, who already has a touchdown.
So a little bit of what's different from what Landon Dickerson has brought to this team happens actually almost after the play, at the end of plays, finding work, as Landon Dickerson told me it is earlier this week. You're not going to find anybody else who gives the kind of effort towards the end of plays that Landon Dickerson does. Some people are going to call it dirty. I call it quality football. Landon Dickerson's a guy that brings that attitude and that demeanor. Nick Saban has been welcome for this football team.
From Hickory, North Carolina, started his career at Florida State. Jones going deep with man coverage and incomplete. Smith covered by Kelvin Joseph, boss man fat. That's his name on the label. On the field, number 1, the LSU transfer football player by day, rapper by night.
And we spoke to Kelvin. I think he felt like this was one of the opportunities. Come from LSU to Kentucky, get a little bit out of the spotlight as a DB, right? Well, this was one of his opportunities to show out. He was looking forward to matching up against Devontae Smith, against John Mechie, some of these guys, to prove that he belongs.
Matched up with Devontae Smith, 7-7s throughout the summers, one-on-one through camps. He's no stranger to what Smith can do. Here's Najee Harris. Big hole for Harris, who rips off a 14-yard gain.
That's really the biggest area of operation Harris has had today. I feel like Kentucky's front 4 is playing pretty well. That time they got washed out, lost contained.
How about this line? Off balance to the left with only one right guard. Harris hurdles. Flag on the play to the 20. And a little bit of a stiff arm to the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama, if it stands. 42 yards for Najee Harris.
Legal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field to play when the ball is snapped. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
A lot happening on this one. Second of the day for Harris.
And it was the tempo, right? A great job by Sark to call tempo. And look at the defensive line for Kentucky. There's a huge hole right there. They're not aligned the way they should be because of the tempo. They tried to substitute. They were out of position. And you can't be out of position against Alabama in number 22 because that happens.
Alabama went unbalanced to the left. And that was a big part of it. Najee Harris with some hand fighting at the end to keep the defenders at bay. It's the longest Alabama run of the season of 42 yards, and it came against 12 men. The last one dispatched with a hand to the face.
We made USAA insurance for veterans like Martin. When a hailstorm hit, he needed his insurance to get it done right away. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
At T-Mobile, we believe you should get more. That's why we merged with Sprint. Now, it's about to get even better. And as we work to integrate Sprint's network, our nationwide 5G keeps getting stronger, with the capacity and coverage to reach more people and places across the country. Who says you can't have it all? Now is the time for 5G. Now is the time to join T-Mobile.
Remember, Miles, you're Spider-Man. Everything they think they can get us, they check it and drip when I flip up the building. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready to take on the world. You can't stop me now. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. PlayStation.
Oh, you're gonna botch this, Baker. You're gonna blow it, Baker.
He can only perform when he's under pressure.
Yep.
Hey, my name is Dante, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is the authentic taste of it. You can tell it's freshly breaded, seasoned perfectly, and it just has this unique taste that compares to no other. Once I bite into it,
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
What are you doing, man? There you go.